Aircut removes Primate from the field of play. Crustle re-enters the arena with that Rock Wrecker locked and loaded. Not a single bubble has been hit, but it's time to hit him with that bang. There it is. Shout out to the GOAT Oxford U for that quote. So welcome back to the channel. As you can tell, today I am very upbeat, and that is for two reasons. Firstly, I've survived my 4 consecutive 12-hour night shifts. And secondly, we have got an absolute banger of a battle submission for one of my favourite battlers to shoutcast. None other than Place Your Wagers. When the news of the move update dropped, there was one Pokemon that really got me excited, and that is Crustle gaining access to Rock Wrecker. For those of you that don't know, a Rock Wrecker is a clone of Blast Burn and just does a ridiculous damage even when resisted. As far as bug types in general go in the meta, they're not looking too hot. Both Flying and Fire got huge buffs this season, 2 things that hit bug for super effective. There's also Fairies running around that also got buffed, another thing that does resist bug. However, let me tell you, Crustle happens to have a very niche role in this meta. You neutralise your weaknesses to both Fire and Flying, and in turn can hit back for massive super effective damage with that newly acquired Rock Wrecker. Speaking of which, whilst you're still going to be hitting for resisted against Fairies, if you Rock Wrecker the shit out of one, trust me, you're going to be alright. Place Your Wagers, being the absolute mad lad that he is, isn't just showcasing Crustle today, we are showcasing the ultimate glass cannon, Shadow Honchkrow. Whilst I'm sure you've seen numerous showcases of Honchkrow, which is actually now pretty legit, I had the pleasure of shoutcasting King IV's battles with it. Honchkrow is just in its own category. It's got a far higher attack stat than Honchkrow. Honchkrow comes in at 143, Honchkrow is all the way at 150, and that is not taking into account its shadow bonus. Whilst Honchkrow has a fantastic moveset this season and is so incredibly spammy, Foul Play and Drill Peck in neutral situations don't quite hit hard enough. Honchkrow is just outputting so much more damage. Foul Play is replaced with a hard hitting Dark Pulse, and Drill Peck is replaced with that Hail Mary Brave Bird. Of course, this is a complete glass cannon that you really need to get shields down to give it any chance. So today's save switch is going to be none other than my favourite Pokemon, Shadow Primate. There really isn't too much more to say, so without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we lead Shadow Crustle into Unova Stunfisk. Unfortunately, a ground type that we can't Rock Wrecker the shit out of, but very nice to catch it in the lead position as Honchkrow wants no part of this threat whatsoever. Even when rocks resisted, the combination of the oppressive, one-turn Fury Cut and X-Scissor still holds its own. You can see the Fury Cutters are chunking through the Unova Stunfisk's HP, and the X-Scissor gets them below half health. Place Your Wagers happy to soft lose this opening matchup, likely send out Primate and look to start loading up an energy and hope to force some shields in that mid-game matchup. Primate enters the arena, wastes no time, goes straight for the Rage Fist. Rage Fist removes Stunfisk from the field of play, and Primate leaves at almost full health and boosted. Primate going to be very appreciative of his attack boost, as out comes Torkoal, another one of this season's buff fire types, but this one is hella bulky. Place Your Wagers, shields up the Flame Wheel, heavily overfarms, and looks to fake a close combat. We haven't got it, but of course in blind battles, the opponent does not know that. The boosted Rage Fist gets no respect, undeterred. Primate going to release the next one, surely stripping the first protection as Primate could very quickly get out of hand. Torkoal already the next Flame Wheel. This Pokemon is very spammy this season. We're going to see Place Your Wagers go all in on Primate and look to ride that boost. The opponent not wishing to concede a farm down, send out Dusclops. This Rage Fist is 3-stage boosted and will be commanding the final Protect Shield. Place Your Wagers tries to catch the Shadow Punch. Catch attempt unsuccessful. Honchkrow, if you don't survive a non-stab Ice Punch, I'm ending the shoutcast here. Oh my god, that did crazy damage. Honchkrow just about hangs on, reach the Dark Pulse, and I have no doubt Dark Pulse gonna pick up that one-hit KO, get that Dusclops off my screen. Back out comes Torkoal. Torkoal able to Ember farm us down, but Primate Karate Chop farms down the remaining HP, and we're off to a 1-0 start. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we see Dragalge in the lead position. If they're on Acid, this will be a nice matchup. They're actually opting for Dragon Tail. I think both moves have merit. Depends if you prefer 3-turn or 2-turn moves. Aqua Tail will in turn hit us for super effective, but Crustle respectively bulky and able to shrug off the damage. The question is, Dragalge, you sir, do you survive a Rock Wrecker? Rock Wrecker sneaks through 2 Protect Shield and Crustle claims its first victim. Oh baby, Honchkrow has found a target. We get off one single peck. The opponent probably thought, where the heck did a quarter of my HP go? And they make the pivot into Flozil. What the heck is Flozil doing on my screen? I guess this is week 1. Flozel did get buffed a few seasons ago, gaining access to Swift, its cheapest charge move. But is this thing any good? I'm going to have to tell you all, probably not. Shout out to my buddy Ledson Cat. Flozel is his favourite Pokemon, he always tries to get it to work, and unfortunately it never quite does. Look at the damage. Honchkrow gets the easiest Peck farm down of his GBL career, and we're able to take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Corviknight in the lead position. This is definitely one of them scuff matchups where our Fury Cutters are doing essentially nothing, but a neutral Rock Wrecker probably does the majority of their HP, and that's kind of mad to think as this Corviknight is hella bulky. We are just going to full send it right off the bat. Does the opponent respect the damage? Oof, they do not, and Jesus Christ, that actually almost did pick up a one-hit KO. The opponent actually boosts on the first air cutter, which is definitely better for us, meaning the second air cutter knocks us out, rather than not knocking us out and the opponent able to stand attack farm us down afterwards. Primeape hits the field of play, Karate Chop farms down, and out comes Malamar. Malamar going to be greeted with the Rage Fist after looking to fake a close combat. Rage Fist forced the Protect Shield, and here comes Honchkrow. The Psywave damage that's usually oppressive is double resisted. However, a superpower would probably knock us out. The opponent go for the foul play bait, then send out. Whoa, trainer, why? Why are you doing that? Why would you send a bug and fighting type into something using Peck? Thankfully, it was just a power-up punch as well. I am definitely caught off guard here. Honchkrow fires off the first foul play, forcing the opponent's final Protect Shield. Honchkrow able to reach yet another foul play, and that is going to be all she wrote. Holy moly, man, them Pecks were crazy. Heading into the next battle, if I can finally get my breath back, we are running it back with Crustle into Corviknight. We've already seen that a Rock Wrecker, despite only being neutral, almost does all of their HP. This opponent doesn't spam that air cutter. As soon as they get it, it looks like they're looking to fake a potential payback or even a Legacy Ironhead that would be super effective into this matchup. After landing that Hail Mary Rock Wrecker, Place Your Wager says, enjoy yourself, trainer. If you've got Ironhead, throw it. The opponent settle for the air cutter. This time not getting the boost, which means this next air cutter won't be lethal and will enable a farm down afterwards. Oh, I like this play, an aggressive pivot into Primeape, not conceding a farm down and getting a very nice energy lead. Also gives Place Your Wagers a potential endgame third shield if we're able to successfully catch back onto that 1 HP Crustle. Quagsire tanks the first Rage Fist, which is certainly the correct play, as the opponent recognises it comes with a 100% chance of unpower attack, meaning subsequent ones after that will do more and more. Primeape invests the Protect Shield, blocking up the Aqua Tail, wastes no time, fires off the next Rage Fist, stripping the first Protect Shield of the opponent. The opponent then pivots into Dusclops, Place Your Wagers once again, goes for the catch, and again catch attempt unsuccessful. We've seen that we just about survive an Ice Punch. Not well, but one is survivable. Okay, in this case it isn't survivable, so this Dusclops must have some attack weight to it. Oh man, this looks like an incredibly tough game to win now. Primeape needs to do the heavy lifting, but the opponent has given us a fighting chance here. Shielding up the first Rage Fist, meaning the second one, if it lands on its intended target, should knock this Dusclops out. Place Your Wagers goes for the correct one Karate Chop and the Rage Fist, meaning we throw in the middle of the Hex animation. The boosted Rage Fist does remove them from the field of play, but unfortunately unable to Karate Chop farm down Quagsire. Quagsire, in turn, Mud Shot farms us down, leaving with the Aqua Tail, and this one is going to end in defeat. GG's to that opponent. Potentially there, if Place Your Wagers would have just fired off the boosted Rage Fist into Dusclops, forced a Protect Shield. Perhaps Honchkrow could have closed the show, but hindsight is always 50-50. What the heck is going on? We're in week 1 of the season, and Place Your Wagers has seen PvPoke's #1 ranked pick. This bloody annoying Corviknight in 3 consecutive battles, but undeterred, Crustle more than happy to play this matchup out. Once again, Rock Wrecker gets little respect, and as we've seen previously, does the majority of their HP. I'm anticipating if we survive this, the aggressive pivot into Primeape. The opponent actually boosts their meaning the sand attack knocks us out. We're unable to save Crustle as the potential third shield. However, Primeape still gets a nice energy lead, and once again, out comes Quagsire. So potentially this is the same team. Come on, who put this video out? I guess it's kind of basic, to be honest. Skarmory plus Mudboy has been around since the start of time. Skarmory is now replaced with Corviknight, and the Mudboy still covers its weaknesses as a very solid core. Place Your Wagers already finds itself in a more advantageous spot in this matchup than the last, as the opponent opts to shield the first Rage Fist, meaning the second one is going to knock them out or force them all shields down. Primeape fires off the next Rage Fist. Rage Fist knocks out Quagsire. Out comes Cradilly. Cradilly wants none of the boosted Primeape's work, and the opponent concedes the match. Heading into the next battle, we see Shiny Jellicent in the lead position. I'm anticipating an instant pivot into Primate and going for the Rage Fist spam. However, Place Your Wages actually stays in and the opponent ends up playing to the CMP side. They do not win. Does Rock Wrecker one shot if not respected? Ooh! No, it does not, but my, that just does so much damage. Place Your Wages happy with a soft loss in the opening matchup, sends out Honchkrow, and Honchkrow gets a very nice energy lead. And hopefully it's time to start nuking. Out comes Azumarill, one of the bulkiest mon in the meta. Come on, Azumarill, you've got nothing to fear, buddy. It's just a little crappy move. Brave Bird! Almost a one-hit KO. We see the aggressive pivot into Primate. Primate wastes no time, goes straight for the Rage Fist, and this opponent is really on the defensive. Rage Fist forces the Protect Shield as the opponent looks to force one back. Place Your Wages, Primate is boosted. He's more than happy to invest the Protect Shield. The opponent then pivots out into Pyro. If you had to ask me what I thought was in the back, Pyro was definitely not that Pokemon, but these boosted Karate Chops are just doing crazy damage. The Rage Fist is double resisted, but the damage is already done. Boosted Rage Fist knocks him out, and we're able to take that game. What a boom from Honchkrow there in the mid-game matchup. Heading into the next battle, we see some Shadow on Shadow Chrome with Crustle into Murkrow. The part Dark typing means our Fury Cutters would hit for neutral. The opponent recognises they're going to get torn to shreds and opt to save switch into Marowak. The Marowak save switch, in theory, hard punished by Honchkrow, but we do have to be mindful of the opponent having access to Rock Slide, which they full send, so Place Your Wages invested a huge Protect Shield there. Place Your Wages looks to remove Marowak from the field of play with the Dark Pulse just before the next Rock Slide's reached. The opponent invests a Protect Shield. Place Your Wages going to go all in. Correctly showing up a Rock Slide once again, which is going to enable a massive Peck farm down afterwards. Are we about to see the father versus son battle? Or does the opponent reveal their third? The opponent thinking about it actually send out a Fire Fang Marwar. Another very spicy pick, but a cool shadow team from the opponent. Crustle fires up the Rock Wrecker. That's supposed to be resisted, but does force the opponent all shields down. The opponent is going to fire off a Power Up Punch, which likely isn't lethal, but will enable a Fire Fang farm down afterwards. Crustle does get farmed down. Place Your Wages, all the energy banked on Murkrow, but instead going to send out Primate. The opponent once again go for a Power Up Punch, which won't be lethal, but will get us slow as Primate is so glassy. We fire off the Rage Fist. You saw the Fire Fang start, meaning Rage Fist lands on its intended target. Primate knocks out Marwar. We go for the wham, bam, combo play. Honchkrow about to nuke its son into oblivion. And remember everyone, respect your elders. GG's and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we'll lead Shadow Crustle into Zweilous. A very nice lead for us, as our Fury Cutters are hitting for super effective, and the opponent is going to have to full send a Dark Pulse to do any meaningful damage, as the second move, that is their cheaper charge move, that ironically has been buffed this season, is Body Slam, that is resisted, as normal is resisted by Rock. Place Your Wages called, the opponent is going to full send a Dark Pulse, and they do, which should enable Crustle to Fury Cutter farm down, only tanking a Body Slam in the process. Body Slammer should be survivable, and we are going to be able to Fury Cutter farm down and even have a Rock Wrecker good to go. Come on, trainer, send out something we can Rock Wrecker. Out comes Metang. We actually see the energy bank, the pivot into Primate. Primate kind of obliged to shield this move up. A Side Shot would easily be a one-hit KO. We shield up the Side Shot, waste no time, go straight for the Rage Fist. Rage Fist is survivable. Potentially we can Karate Chop farm down afterwards. We definitely can. The opponent recognise it. Pivot into Charizard. Charizard greeted with the +1 Rage Fist. Rage Fist probably going to do the majority of their HP. The opponent invests that Protect Shield. No, trainer. We've got a Rock Wrecker banked. Air Cutter will move in Primate from the field of play. Crustle going to put that energy to good use. Re-enters the arena with that Rock Wrecker locked and loaded. Not a single bubbles hit, but double super effective. Massive overkill. We pivot into Honchkrow. Honchkrow going to get the resisted Peck farm down, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we need Shadow Crustle into Empoleon. Oh boy. We are definitely ABA weak to this thing. The metal sounds hitting our rock typing for super effective, and it's not exactly like we can send out Honchkrow where our Pecks will also be resisted. So if you are going to run a team that's ABA weak to something, often you can just stay in, sack your lead, and align your one Pokemon that's got play into it once your lead's died. However, saying that, we're actually able to force both Protect Shields off the Steel Penguin and just throwing resisted moves, setting Primate and Honchkrow up a 2-0 shield advantage. Primate going to double shield before looking for full Karate Chop farm down. And you know something in this battle is getting nuked. What is the Pokemon that's going to get nuked? I'm not sure, but I guess we're about to find out. Out comes Jumpluff. If this is Shadow, this Ice Punch is going to come very close to one-hit KO. Unfortunately, it is the regular variant, so I guess there we should have went for the Rage Fist first into the Ice Punch. But regardless, Rage Fist is going to remove Jumpluff from the field of play. Oh no, the opponent actually made a very nice catch, catching onto Nidoqueen. Not sure why we're not Ice Punching here. What is Place Your Wagers cooking up? Okay, we're going to start with Honchkrow. I like that play. Honchkrow going to be able to peck farm down Jumpluff's remaining HP, and we get the job done. Definitely not how I would have played it, but regardless, we're able to take that game. In the next battle, we see our second consecutive Core Breaker in the lead position. Not entirely sure why the opponent pivoted out, but they send out Annihilate, and Annihilate's answered by Honchkrow. Honchkrow gonna look for the one shield. Full peck farm down. Can we survive the boosted counters? Oh, if that's rough. We invest to protect shield and it ends up in a Simul KO. We now find ourselves in the guessing game. Place Your Wagers, sends out Primeape, and thankfully we guess right as Steelix re-enters the arena. Primeape gonna fire off the Rage Fist. Rage Fist goes unshielded. The opponent then pivots out into Murkrow. We bank the Rage Fist, see the pivot into Crustle. Them Karate Chops did crazy damage, as are these neutral Fury Cutters. Can we one shield and fully Fury Cutter farm down? Can Murkrow reach the next Drill Peck? They cannot. Crustle leaves a whole heap of residual energy. Back out comes Steelix. This game's over. What the heck do they shield? Apparently nothing. Looks like the opponent has just give up. We're going to be able to resist it. Fury Cutter farm down and take that game. Heading into the next battle, we lead Crustle into Guzzlord. A beautiful lead. When using a one-turn move and hitting something that's super effective, it just shreds opponents to pieces. The opponent continued to stay in at Crustle. Going to fire off the X-Scissor. X-Scissor forces the opponent's first Protect Shield. Place Your Wagers actually more than content just to sacrifice Crustle. Now we've also got another very hard check for it in the form of Primeape. We tank the crunch, make the aggressive pivot into Primeape, baiting out Fearow. This is where Ice Punch is going to come in very, very handy. Ice Punch, unfortunately, goes shielded. The opponent looked for the full peck farm down. We received the energy for the Ice Punch and opt to throw the double resisted Rage Fist. What is Place Your Wagers cooking up here? I guess we've got a 2-0 shield advantage. Potentially going to double shield both the incoming Drill Pecks and just look to nuke the shit out of everything in the end game, which sounds like a fun idea to me. We actually opt to sacrifice Crustle as it is at low health, keeping a shield intact. That is definitely probably the better play. The opponent not wishing to see the farm down. Send out Guzzlord. Murkrow gonna go for the one shield. Full peck farm down. What is getting Brave Birded? What are we gonna nuke in the back? The opponent unable to reach another move. Oh, what a spoil sport. That is so unfair, man. I was so ready to boom something. The opponent concedes the match. Heading into the next battle. We see Primeape in the lead position. Again, that's somewhat of a problematic lead. You don't really want to enter a mirror down on energy. And if we send out Honchkrow, we'll just get outpaced to potential Ice Punch. And even the Karate Chops do a lot. Place Your Wagers, able to force himself a shield advantage. Throwing the resisted X's. The opponent fire off the Rage Fist. Rage Fist isn't lethal, but the opponent is able to Karate Chop farm us down afterwards. We send out Honchkrow. Honchkrow definitely getting baited with the Rage Fist, but it kind of is what it is. Better sometimes be safe than sorry. The boosted Karate Chops do a lot, but we're able to peck farm down before the opponent reach another charge with out comes Craydilly. Please, does the opponent respect the damage? Bang! There it is! A huge nuke! Place Your Wagers resets that debuff and sends out Primeape to answer the Drapion. The opponent has Lurk in the back. Drapion fires off the Aqua Tail. Primeape withstands the damage and looks to fire off the Ice Punch, guaranteeing the final Protect Shield or big damage. The opponent don't respect the move. They're able to Poison Sting farm us down, but one peck should knock them out. So we're going to be able to shield this up. The peck will go through and Place Your Wagers will be emerging victorious. Let's go, Craydilly, straight in and straight out. Heading into the next battle, yet another Steelix in the lead position. This opponent, in my opinion, smarter than the last one, opting to stay in as this is a very dominant matchup for them. The opponent going to look to debuff us with the Psychic Fangs, which means their Thunder Fangs are going to do more and more damage. Crustle, undeterred, fires off the X-Scissor. X-Scissor doesn't do much damage, but this second one's actually going to put them down to around the red health range. So despite Crustle only hitting for resisted, going to put in solid work here in the opening matchup. We saw the aggressive pivot into Primate. Primate unable to snipe down Steelix's remaining HP. Why? What just happened there? They Psychic Fanged our Rock type and they crunched our Fighting type rather than force a 100% debuff on our defense. I guess this is week 1 of the season. But that is such a bizarre play. Out comes Scizor. Ironically, if the opponent would have Psychic Fanged us, we wouldn't have even reached the double Rage Fist, and the opponent would still have a shield to hide behind. This game would already be over. Although, if I'm honest, I think this game's already over. My. Look at these bullet punches. 5 bullet punches, get Honchkrow down to around about 2 HP. We shield up the Night Slash. The opponent then snipes with Murkrow. They're going to be able to peck farm down Crustle, and that one was somewhat of an absolute beatdown. But you can't win them all, especially not when you're on such a crazy spicy team. Heading into the next battle, we have found ourselves a problem, and its name is the Dene. Ironically, despite us hitting for resist with our Fury Cutters, Crustle's probably got our best chance of moving this from the field of play if we can somehow sneak a Rock Wrecker through 2 Protect Shields. Place your wagers, going for that Hail Mary. Does the opponent respect the damage? Of course they do. Potentially at this point, you can just top left, and they got a huge Thundershot farm down. Primate hits the field of play. The opponent going to fire off yet another Parabolic Charge and give themselves a 2-stage defense buff, meaning this Rage Fist is going to go nowhere near knocking them out. If Place Your Wagers pulls off a victory here, I think it'd be one of the best victories I've ever seen in the Go Battle League. Place Your Wagers reaches the next Rage Fist on the charge attack priority. Rage Fist isn't quite lethal. And I guess we just put it all on Murkrow with a shield. And hope to nuke everything. No, we don't. We're actually going to shield Primate. Oh boy. This looks so rough. Murkrow, can you pull off the impossible? Okay, we managed to peck farm down. That's a good start. What do we need to beat in the back? Oh, we can probably survive 1 Air Cutter. There is no chance. There is no chance. Surely not. Air Cutter gets us low. Okay, if 1 Dark Pulse knocks out, we can Brave Bird the 3rd. This is going to be the craziest victory I've ever seen in my life. It doesn't quite get the job done. Place your wagers, forced to dump yet further energy. We are at least going to see the 3rd, but this one is going to be defeat. Oh man, if that Dark Pulse would have knocked out, you better believe a Brave Bird would have 1-hit KO Venusaur, but unfortunately, that was just such a difficult team and difficult Pokemon for us to beat. Heading into the next battle. Awful lead once again. Crustle fully walled against Hakmo-O. We say switch into Primate, baiting out Corviknight. Primate gonna release the first Rage Fist and look to start vamping up his attack. Primate already at the next Rage Fist and putting in solid work as it always does here in the mid-game matchup. Primate able to force a Protect Shield. The opponent farm up a boatload of energy. I believe they're now doubled up. They're full alignment, meaning we can undertap this Rage Fist and win the CMP. This is huge for us. We're either going to take back switch or force both Protect Shields here in the mid-game matchup. Primate able to force both Protect Shields. We see the instant no shield deployed. As Place Your Wagers, more than happy with Primate's contribution. I love this play. Send out Honchkrow and look to start loading up on energy. The opponent isn't boosted yet, so an Air Cutter is probably one of the few neutral charges we can survive. And the sand attacks are non-stab and double resisted. It looks like we're actually going to go for the 1 shield and resisted. Peck farm down. Oh baby, it is boom time. Hakmo, of course, cannot return. What is that 3rd? Out comes Empoleon. We see the pivot into Crustle. The opponent goes to the classic U switch, I switch. Can we still win this game? Dragon Claw knocks us out. Honchkrow gonna release the Brave Bird. Brave Bird, of course, a big fat 1-hit KO. Is a Dark Pulse gonna be enough to knock out the Steel Penguin? I'm going to say yes. Honchkrow! Bang! There it is. Who was worried? Evidently I was, just for a split second. Then I thought to myself, we've got 150 attack with Shadow, the Glassy. Why was I worried? That was an easy 1-hit KO. As Place Your Wagers ends the video with 2 huge nukes. GG's and thanks for playing. And that is just about going to wrap things up for today's showcase. As always, a huge thank you to Place Your Wagers. This guy always brings some crazy entertaining battles. Crustle's Rock Wrecker makes it greatly improved. You can see when we were able to land it, even when it was neutral, it was pretty much 1-hit KOing everything. Honchkrow is only for the brave. Excuse the pun, but that thing is so glassy. As you saw when we faced the Scissor, just 5 bullet punches did almost all our HP. But if you can get some shields down, it is hella fun just nuking everything in the endgame scenario. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button if you're new, consider subscribing if you like your battles featured on my channel. A link to a battles feature form is down below. And as always, a huge thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.